anybody in your life that's difficult to get along with? I'm sure you're going, no, no. But if you did, the person I'm talking about is someone that constantly blindsides you, or you can't even breathe right for them. That's the kind of person I'm talking about. And it seems like no matter how much you try to appease them or try and get along with them, you can even agree with them and they'll fight you on everything. If that's a person that's in your life, then I want you to do something. I want you to stop giving your energy to it. And what I mean by that is you can't change the way someone else thinks or feels. That is not going to help the relationship. But what you can do is change the way you think and feel about it. That is within your power. So what I mean by that is once you realize that everything in your life is happening for you, through you, then everything does change. And how we get there is all a little bit different. So I had this relationship that was very important to me, but the person was absolutely driving me nuts. And yet it was a person in my life that was dear to me and was not leaving my life, nor did I want this person to leave my life. So I developed almost a whole different little list of ways that I could think about the relationship and what I was learning and what the benefits were to me for the relationship and how it had been looping around in the same kind of dysfunctional pattern. I felt it was up to me to actually end that way that I was playing the game. I was playing how that relationship worked by always giving a little story about, oh yeah, that's just them. And oh yeah, they always treat me like this and they're never going to change. Do you see how that's all outside of myself? And it's all put on somebody else, like me wanting them to change instead of me changing my perspective about what I was gaining from the relationship. So I developed this little worksheet and I'm just going to read through what I told myself and learned about myself and what I was willing to do to have a better relationship. So what I started with is I'm willing to see that I'm not a victim, because I was feeling like a victim all the time with this person. I always felt like this person was being a bit of a bully to me. And so once I realized, it's like, well, no one can make you feel anything but yourself. And I was the one claiming that victimhood. So once I was willing to see it in a different way, it's like, I'm willing to see that I'm not a victim. I'm willing to accept that everything that happens in my life is something I'm creating either consciously or unconsciously. That said, I'm willing to accept that I was unsure of my value and created plenty of opportunity to decide my value. I'm willing to have a relationship with myself that is in full alignment with who I know myself to be on a conscious level. I'm grateful to my person for playing along with me to create a situation that helped me get clear about my value. I'm ending the story and any creative methods I've used to tell this story, including needing my person to show up in a certain way. I'm willing to allow my person to have his or her story without any judgments from me. I'm willing to have a person who respects me for who I am. I'm willing to create good boundaries around what feels right for me and let go of what doesn't without telling any stories. You see, my person can show up for me in any other way than how I always pictured that person, how I have always experienced that person. So once I was willing to let go of this like certain idea I had about how our relationship always seemed to go, it always seemed like I was always backpedaling or trying to appease. Once I let that go, then what I found is I felt better. I felt like, oh, this is on me to let them be whoever they are without trying to change them. But I don't automatically have to change anything about myself either, other than be willing to see that's not mine. And what I was willing to do is let them be who they are and have good boundaries around that for me and what feels right without telling any more stories about them. Like, oh yeah, that's always them. Nope, I didn't say anything like that. Nothing. I just let them be who they are. What the kind of magical thing that happened after that is the next day, and this person was in my life on a daily basis, the next day, without any expectations or attachments to how something like this had to go, that person completely changed around me. They never treated me with disrespect again, and in fact, apologized for some of the things that they had said and done without me prompting anything from them. And they've always treated me with a lot of respect ever since. And like I say, it wasn't something that I was attached to or expecting, but once my energy shifted and I knew myself and the benefit I was receiving from myself to change something that I unconsciously believed about myself, like maybe it was that I thought I was a victim, or maybe it was that I thought that I didn't have value and what they said was more important than how I felt about things. But without trying to change them, everything changed because I changed. And really, this is about you changing a pattern within inside yourself. And then your outer world automatically changes. Whatever's in here, you're automatically going to see reflected into the outer world. So my little sheet is just a template. And I want you to just fill in your own blanks or create your own words or whatever you think feels right for you, because I'm sure your situation is, whatever you're going through is a little different. But please do create it so it's what you're willing to do, be, have, create, see, those type of things. I'm willing to see, I'm willing to be this or create this. And it's not about the other person. It's really about understanding how the other person is showing or reflecting something within yourself that you believe to be true about you. What are you willing to do, be, allow, see, or have in your life in order to improve your relationships? So we can leave a link in this video so you can see the template and then you can work from there. Thanks for watching.